Good evening, friends. Welcome to this session on MCX hedging for metals and systems. My name is Jasprit Singh Sethi, and I would like to welcome all RATA members to this prestigious webinar, or I would say a talk show on MCX metals, where everybody can understand how you can book your material beforehand and earn some profit and material money out of it. Rata is a is an organization which is 72 years old young, and it has the main purpose of Rata is to get everybody on board who is an MSME or a small trader or even service, even connected to the service industry. We would at Rata we bring about various webinars for commercial purposes, not touching much of technical, just to understand what the commercial terms and I would say how do you make a profit out of small earnings and the way it goes on. I would Rata was formed in 1947, which was in those years the I would say the only refrigeration and air conditioning trade association in India. So I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Mahendra Bhai, who would take it forward and introduce the panel board today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Mahendra Mehta. We have on board with us MCX team also. So this is a webinar where we have been all observing a huge volatility in metals, and because of this, we have been observing losses also and profits also. So unfortunately, I'm at the airport right now, so I'm handing over to the MCX team headed by Mr. Chitranjan and Prakash, who will take the thing forward.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mehta. Thank you, Mr. Sethi. It is always pleasure to interact with the industry. I am Chitranjan Rege from MCX, Multi Commodity Exchange of India, and my colleague Prakash Prabhu. We are both part of the metals team. Metals is a vertical within the host of commodities what we have listed. As you would all know, so MCX stands for Multi Commodity Exchange of India. We are a SEBI regulated entity. We choose to list only commodities, and so we have host of segments. We have bullion, which comprises of gold, silver, energy, which comprises of gold, crude, natural gas, metals, which is aluminum, copper, zinc, lead, nickel, and the agri produce. These are broad four verticals which we have, under which various contracts are listed. We are completely regulated by SEBI. We ourselves are a listed entity. So in terms of transparency and all of that, we are best in the business. Now, let me give you a background as to what we are and what we are trying to do today. So we always had a very vibrant metals vertical, which comprises of aluminum, copper, nickel, lead, and zinc contracts. In our previous avatar of our contracts, these were cash settled. We were referenced against the LME prices and LME's cash settlement prices and the rupee dollar conversion. That's how the settlement used to be, and that is all pre 2019. I would say 2019 was the watershed year for us. We converted all our contracts to be delivery settled. When I say delivery settled, which means the whatever the price discovery is happening will eventually end up in being making or taking delivery. When the prices are at the variance. The design of the contracts is these are monthly, far more simpler to understand and everything. What we strongly believe ever since we made them delivery based, the price discovery has become very very India centric. So दोनों सेठी साहब ने और मेहता जी ने जो बात कही that the prices are changing, prices are volatile, कैसे hedge करना है, margin कैसे होना चाहिए. Now these are the real issues which we anyways keep discussing and interacting with people. And I think today is a very good opportunity for us to reach out to you all and tell you as to how we are relevant to you. What is most important to realize that we being delivery based contract, the price what you see on screen for MCX, it is delivered price. So which means the only component which is not there in the screen price is GST. So GST is, whenever you are making or taking delivery, only then happens. Otherwise, it is an India centric price. And the details of that, I'm sure Prakash is going to cover in detail. It will give you a very good idea then. uh, we have multiple warehouses where the deliveries are taken, given and taken. So it is all pre-decided. Nothing comes as a surprise. We are expanding our foothold into various centers to reach out to very wide set of people who are present all across India. So when I say this, we started with only probably Thane, which is close to Mumbai, for all the metals, and Chennai for lead, and we are now slowly expanding in terms of now for aluminium we have Raipur also, for zinc we have Calcutta also, for nickel we have Chennai also. So I am sure that those details we'll get to hear when Prakash is presenting. But the point I am trying to make is that slowly, with our expanding foothold on the region, we will ensure that the price discovery what you have on screen on MCX is relevant to everybody. Now, when I say everybody, I would like to throw some more light on this. So it is one thing that aluminium prices on MCX are for the aluminium, primary aluminium ingots. Copper is copper cathode, zinc is zinc ingots, lead is lead ingots, nickel is primary nickel. All of that is primary LME registered brands are delivered and all of that. Now, does this mean that the price discovery on MCX continues to be relevant for people who are actually not buying and selling that product? Which means I am suppose into a business where my refrigeration, my vendor, I would not say vendor, the my client has given me order ki, there has to be some tonnage. I'm sure I don't know whether it is by length or by tonnage you get the orders, but suppose a copper pipe of such and such length has to be delivered, translated into quantity. जिस दिन भी जो business हुआ है, so that day you lock in the price, and thereafter you keep supplying month over month. Now my point is that ये पता नहीं कैसे हो सकता है, बल अगर हम जिस दिन मुझे ऑर्डर मिले उस दिन पूरा का पूरा माल रॉ मटेरियल जो है, मतलब कि मेरे को कॉपर की शीट है या कॉपर का रॉड है या एनीथिंग, इफ यू हैव टू प्रोक्योर एंड कीप इट विथ यू, नथिंग लाइक इट. मतलब जितना रॉ मटेरियल वो ऑर्डर के लिए चाहिए आप एक बार में लेकर के रख लीजिए तो भाव नहीं बदलेगा. दैट इज वन वे टू हेज. ना वो करने में दिक्कत क्या है भाई, ना तो इतना कैपिटल कोई ब्लॉक करेगा, वर्किंग कैपिटल कौन ब्लॉक करेगा, लाएंगे तो रखेंगे कहाँ, ये सब भी दिक्कतें हैं. So the issue is that you always want the raw material to come to you in a staggered way, which means थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में जब कभी मुझे रिक्वायरमेंट हो, मुझे माल आता रहे, जैसे दो दो हफ्ते में माल आता रहे, मैं इसको बना करके डिस्पैच करता रहूं. जब एक बार डिस्पैच हो जाए तो उसी समय दूसरा माल आ जाए. एंड मेरे वेंडर्स भी तय हैं, मैं जिससे माल लेता हूँ वो मुझे क्रेडिट देता है, मेरे कौन से क्वालिटी का माल चाहिए, किस साइज का माल चाहिए, ये भी प्री डिफाइंड है. अच्छा, ये दोनों चीजें, ना तो मैं जिसको माल दे रहा हूँ ना जिससे माल ले रहा हूँ, दोनों चीजें एमसीएक्स में डिलीवर ना तो हो सकती है ना होती हैं. But what is relevant is that the price discovery of copper and price discovery of aluminium, which is happening on MCX, is very relevant to you also, to your vendor also, to your client also. Only when you start relating it to that way, which means ऑर्डर लेते टाइम अगर ये बोलें कि साहब मैं आपको सप्लाई करूंगा एमसीएक्स के कॉपर भाव प्लस, आई डोंट नो व्हाट द प्राइस, बट एक बार मान लेते हैं कि 200 रुपये ऊपर. सो 200 रुपये ऊपर, इसका मतलब ये है कि भाई जब आपको रॉ मटेरियल लेना है तो आपको एमसीएक्स में अपना मार्जिन पकड़ करके मान लिया कि आपके 45 रुपये का खर्चा है, तो यू हैव टू एंश्योर दैट यू आर प्रोक्योरिंग द रॉ मटेरियल एट एमसीएक्स प्लस 200, वो हो गया माइनस 45 हो गया, तो 165 जो है उसमें बराबर बैठता है. Now this is easy calculation. Now easy calculation when you relate, when you connect, when you benchmark everything to the MCX price, which is a India centric price. And that is the idea with which we thought it is important that we first explain you what our contracts are. Then we should be able to explain you that how you can relate and connect to the contract. And it doesn't really matter whether you are making or taking delivery of the stuff which is getting delivered on MCX, as long as you can relate, benchmark it to it. बेंचमार्क करने में क्या होता है कि भाई एमसीएस का जो कॉपर का भाव है उसको न तो आप इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं, न तो आपका वेंडर इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता है, न तो आपका क्लाइंट इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता है. इट इज लाइक लाइक रुपी डॉलर में क्या होता है, रुपी डॉलर में इंटरबैंक का जो भाव है उसमें कोई मतलब बहसबाजी होती है क्या? सेम वे दिस इज हाउ द प्राइस डिस्कवरी इज हैपनिंग ऑफ एमसीएक्स metals on MCX platform. And that is the reason why I believe that the starting point is when you quote to the tenders, when you quote to your clients, benchmark is against MCX. You say MCX plus 200 रुपए, MCX plus 600 रुपए, जो भी आपका है, and that is your price, and the GST extra and whatnot. And when you buy from your from your vendors and to your clients, everything related to MCX and the price, the design of the price, how it is structured and all of that, I'm sure Prakash is going to help us, and I am, we'll be happy to take all the questions after that. But lastly I want to communicate is that ये जो terminology है ना कि hedging करना चाहिए, now hedging करना चाहिए is a philosophy which I believe, I mean we strongly believe in it at MCX. It takes time for people to believe that it works. All right, मैंने ऐसे कई एग्जाम्पल देखे हैं जब अगर जो मुझे लगता है मेरा प्राइस व्यू के हिसाब से अगर मैंने काम किया और मेरे अगर पैसे बन गए तो मुझे लगता है MCX ठीक है, लेकिन अगर नुकसान हो गया तो मुझे लगता है MCX ठीक नहीं है. बट द पॉइंट इज हेजिंग का फंडा इज आई एम श्योर Prakash has a slide which will tell you that the loyalty is to the margin. It is not about teji mandi. It is not about price going up and down. Loyalty is the entire philosophy says be loyal to your margins. अगर किसी भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में, जो भी ऑर्डर में, टेंडर में, अगर आपने अपना मार्जिन अगर 5 रुपए का पकड़ा है तो वो 5 रुपए इंटैक्ट तभी रह सकते हैं अगर जितने भी बाकी वेरिएबल्स, जैसे हम फॉरेक्स को अगर हेज करना है तो हमारे पास एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी, हम मानते हैं क्या करना चाहिए, वैसे ही आपको ये सोचना चाहिए कि जितने भी बाकी फाइनेंशियल मार्केट, बाकी फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, whether it is interest rate, whether it is commodities price, all of that is hedgeable and you should hedge it. And I believe the fantastic products what MCX has created are very relevant to you. It takes care of everything happening to the LME copper prices. It includes premium, it includes rupee dollar, it includes duty, it includes everything. You don't have to struggle with the Excel sheet. So breakup wise, when Prakash is going to show you that when you see MCX price, what all is already included in, so that there is no separate jhanjat to be really tracked and worried about. यार पता नहीं इसमें रुपी का क्या होगा, उसमें क्या होगा, because it is all presented and given to you in one go. So that is the idea. Now, I'm going to invite my colleague, Prakash Prabhu, to help us go through a simple presentation, which basically set a theme. वो आपको ये बताएंगे कि MCX क्या है, हेजिंग क्या है, कैसे करना है, क्या करना है. उसके बावजूद अगर कुछ सवाल रह जाते हैं आपके जहन में तो we'll be happy to take these things in the question answer session. But before I leave, let me tell you one thing which is more important, that I am really happy that RATA took the initiative to expose their members, introduce their members to the concept and philosophy of hedging. We strongly believe that it works, and we strongly believe that it works better when you actually be loyal to it forever. प्राइस आज तेज है इसलिए मुझे हेज करना है, प्राइस कल मंदा रहेगा तो हेज नहीं करूंगा. दिस ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट डजंट वर्क. You have to be loyal to one. It's like a discipline you need to this thing. So why don't we hear from Prakash about the presentation, and at the end of it we'll be happy to take any of the queries attendees may have.
Thank you very much, sir. So I will begin with the presentation. So good evening, everyone. So welcome to the presentation on managing metal price volatility using MCX metal future. So in this presentation, basically we will learn how you can manage the price volatility in the base metal using MCX metal futures. So to begin with, we will just have a look at the size of the commodities market in India. Now, Indian commodities market in terms of value of future traded for the financial year 2021 was 84 trillion rupees. So that was the size of commodity market in India in terms of value of futures traded. Now, out of which the MCX accounted for 92.62% of the market share in commodity derivatives segment. Now, if you further bifurcate within MCX, then precious metal accounted for majority of the volume, approximately 43.62%, followed by energy, and base metal accounted for 25.13% of the total volume or total turnover of the exchange. Now, if you look at the base metal segment, among the base metal, copper, if you look at the copper accounted for 11.3%, 11.30% of the total turnover that happened on MCX. So among the base metal, copper is the leading contributor in terms of turnover. Now moving ahead, if you look at the average daily turnover of the exchange for the financial year 2021, it was 31,595 crores. So now this figure is single side, means if you count both the side, that is both the side means buying and selling, then you have to double this figure. Now 31,595 crore figure is of single side. Now MCX has an extensive reach. It is a very extensive reach. It has 620 members, which is spread across 981 cities and towns across India, and it has more than 48,000 authorized persons. So it has a very extensive reach spread across the country. Now, going ahead, now average daily turnover for the Q1 financial year 2022 till date was for the Q1 financial 22 was 28,031 crores. So that is the size of turnover that is currently happening or taking place on MCX. Now, to just have a look at the regulatory overview. Now, MCX started its operation in 2003-2004. And it came under SEBI's regulation since September 28, 2015. As you can see, since September 28, 2015, it has been under the SEBI's regulation. Option trading on the exchange commenced from October 17, 2017. From October 2017 onwards, option trading commenced on the exchange. Now, options currently at the moment, option trading is available on gold, silver, crude oil, and in base metal, copper and zinc. On agro front, option trading is available in guar seed, guar gum, soybean, refined oil, and chana. So option trading is available in the specified commodities at the moment. Now coming to the base metal part. Now at the moment, there are total 5 base metal that are listed on exchange. There are total 5 base metal that are available for trading on MCX. The 5 base metals are, as you can see on the screen, are aluminum, copper, lead, nickel, and zinc. So in these 5 base metals are available for trading and hedging purpose. Now moving ahead, if you look at the contract size, now getting into the contract size and contract specification of aluminum and copper. Now we'll first have a look at aluminum. Now aluminum, so for both the aluminum and copper, the contract listing are available as per the contract launch calendar, and the start day is the first day of the contract launch month. However, if such day is a holiday, then the following working day is the start day. Now, last trading day of that particular contract is the last trading day will be the last day of the expiry month. If such day is a holiday, then it will be the preceding working day. So, in this way, these are the very basics of basic contract specification of aluminum and copper. Now, going ahead, now trading unit for aluminum is 5 metric ton. While for that of copper is 2.5 metric tons. So minimum lot size, or what we see the trading unit for aluminum, is 5 metric ton, while for that of copper is 2.5 metric ton, and the quotation value is 1 kg. Now for aluminum, the primary delivery center is Raipur. So price quote is X warehouse, Raipur district, and for copper, the primary delivery center is Thane. So the price quotation is X warehouse, Thane district. Now, if you go further below, that is the maximum order size. It is 150 metric ton for aluminum and 70 metric ton for copper. Now, what this exactly mean? Now, this does not mean that maximum you can take is 150 metric ton. No, that doesn't mean that. This means that, for example, if somebody wants to buy 300 metric tons of aluminum, so he has to punch 2 orders of 150 metric tons each. So in one order or at one go, maximum order size will be 150 metric tons. And for copper, it will be 70 metric tons. So thereafter, any extra quantity which needs to be placed, it has to be placed via second order. Now the purpose of limiting this maximum order size is to avoid the errors. For example, if somebody, instead of 150 metric tons, or if he wants to punch the order for 200 metric tons, by mistake he adds one more zero. So the order will go for 2000 metric tons. That will create a big problem for them. So to avoid such errors, this limit has been specified by the exchange. So for aluminum it is 150 metric tons, and for copper it is 70 metric ton. Now tick size is 5 paise per kg, and those who are willing to take the delivery, now the tolerance level is plus or minus 10%. Now what does this mean? That whenever those players who take and give delivery, so if there is any, and it may be possible that although the trading unit is 5 metric ton, but there may be some weight differential at the time of giving the delivery. So that weight differential that is tolerated up to 10%. So that is the meaning of this tolerance level. So delivery center, as I already explained, the primary delivery center for aluminum will be Raipur in Chhattisgarh, and for copper will be Thane in Maharashtra. An additional delivery center for aluminum is also in Thane, Maharashtra. So that is the basic contracts. That is all about the contract specification of both aluminum and copper. Now MCX has been running a delivery based contract since March 2019. Now with the implementation of GST, it facilitated delivery based settlement in a very smooth manner. Now converting both option contracts to compulsory delivery saw the delivery of metal in huge quantum, and the glimpse of which is in the table which is given below. So now if you look at the aluminum, the average open interest for the current financial year is 12,278 metric tons. Now this figure is up till 6 September 2021. So if you look at the open interest in each base metal, for aluminum it is 12,278 metric tons. Copper it is 11,456 metric tons. Lead it is 5,463 metric tons. Nickel it is 3,022 metric tons. And for zinc it is 10,593 metric tons. Now what does this mean? The open interest refers to the number of open position in the market. So that is a quantum of open interest that is there on the exchange today. So moving ahead, just a glimpse of metals volume at MCX. Now the base metal average daily, if you look at, this is the average daily turnover of all the base metal. Now for the financial year 21-22, the data is there till 6 September 2021. Now among the base metal, the major contribution is from copper and nickel, followed the major contribution is from copper and nickel, and the salient feature of these contracts are, they are rupee denominated contracts settled on polled price, and it has got very high hedge efficiency because they are highly liquid contracts. Now what are polled spot price? Now MCX takes the polled price from the different market participants. So it happens at 12:30 in the afternoon and again at 4:30 in the evening, the details of which are available on MCX website. So all the market participants give their spot prices for different base metals, and accordingly all those data are published on MCX website. So that is the polled spot price. Now all these contracts are highly liquid, and therefore it has got high hedge efficiency. It can be used, all these contracts can be used for hedging very, very efficiently, which I will certainly explain further. Now this is the calculation of landed screen price. Means how to calculate the MCX price on the basis of LME price. Now if you look at the LME, just for example, if aluminum is quoting at $2,510 on LME, so there is always a premium which may be 150 now, maybe 200, depends. The premium keeps on varying. After premium, there is a RBI reference rate which also keeps on changing on day-to-day basis. So after accounting for all such things, we calculate the price in INR per kg, which comes to around 96.88. Now the formula for converting that price is specified in the left-hand side column. If you look at the D is equal to A plus B multiplied by C, means we have added LME price plus premium and multiplied it by spot rupee. So it comes to INR per kg. So in this way, the basic price is calculated. Further, the custom duty and surcharge will be added, which is different for different base metal. For aluminum, it is 8.25%. Then accordingly, the landed cost to Indian port comes to 213. Then further transportation 1% is added, and after adding the transportation cost, the final landed cost to warehouse is 215.25 per kg on MCX. So this is the way to calculate the landed price with reference to LME prices. Now this price excludes GST. So only the thing that is not included in this price is the GST. Now GST is applicable for those who are indulging into the delivery of the contract, in delivery of the base metal. So in this way, you can ascertain the landed price, landed cost to warehouse. Now here, if you look at the premium, if you look at the RBI reference rate, they keeps on varying. So not necessary that if it is mentioned as 150 rupees, then it will be remain fixed. No, things will keep on changing depending upon the market condition, market situation. USD INR rate keeps on fluctuating. Only the custom duty percentage generally will remain stable unless and until there is some notification from the government. But otherwise, rest of the things are variable. It keeps on changing depending upon the market condition. Now moving ahead. Now, if we look at the volatility in aluminium, now aluminum witnessed an analyzed volatility of 18.21% for the financial year 2021, which means that any business, any firm into aluminum business with an annual turnover of 100 crores was exposed to the risk of 18.21 crores. Now, if you calculate percentage terms, which is 18.21% is a pretty big percentage, and it has a direct impact on the bottom line of that company. So the hedging, if that company doesn't use the hedging as a tool, then it might land into a trouble. As it will impact directly to the bottom line of the company. So even the next question is, does one have such profit margins to contain 18.21% fluctuations? So that is the question. So to avoid such fluctuation, hedging must be used, and I will explain you how you can use MCX metal futures to hedge your positions. Now moving ahead, if you look at the copper, now copper volatility was even higher in financial year 2021. It was staggering 29.37%. So which is a pretty big figure. In short, it means that any firm into copper business with annual turnover of 100 crores was exposed to price risk of 29.37 crores. Now, if you look at the amount, or if you look at the percentage, it is pretty big. Means it's approximately 30%, which was the risk which the firm was exposed to price risk. So that is pretty big. So it is very important from that firm who is dealing in copper, from their point of view, to hedge their position, according to a requirement, and by using MCX metal futures. So volatility. So impact of volatility, as I already explained, volatility is basically the pace at which price moves higher and lower, and how wild they swing. So as I already told you, that they have a direct impact on business margin, as it might directly affect the profitability of that company. So that is the impact of the volatility in the base metal prices. Now moving ahead. Now what can be done about this risk? There are two ways. First is that you don't do anything. We assume that it is symmetrical risk. Just an assumption that what we lose today, possibly we might make it next time. So profit are going good, no need for hedging. So that is something we assume, that whatever loss we took place today, possibly during the next cycle, that loss might be recovered. So you might do nothing and assume that there is a symmetrical risk in the business. Second option with you is hedging. Now what is hedging? Certainly I will explain you. Now hedging is manage the price risk and lock the raw material prices using future contract. So how you can do that? How you can use the MCX metal futures contract to hedge your position? I will explain you with the help of few examples. Now before that, what is hedging? Just in short, I will explain you what is hedging. Hedging is nothing but is a type of insurance. The main purpose of hedging is not to make profits. Kindly understand, the main purpose of hedging is not to make profits, but to lock in margin, to lock in the cost. So that is the main purpose of hedging. Now it involves taking a position on futures market that is equal and opposite to position in physical market. Now how this has to be taken, I will explain you with the help of example. The again objective of that hedging I told you that it is not the profit. The objective is definitely not the profit, but to offset a loss in one market with the gain in another market. So that is the basic objective of hedging. Now let's take one example. Now there is a company named ABC now which receives a order for copper tubes. Now for manufacturing of these copper tubes, the ABC company requires 10 metric tons of copper on weekly basis. And let's assume that this requirement will be for next 4 weeks on the basis of order which is received. Now what ABC's first intention will be that they want to lock their cost. They want to ensure that whatever future price or whatever raw material they will be buying from physical market in the future, the cost should be locked. Now what ABC company will do, initially immediately they will buy 10 metric ton at prevailing price and assume that the prevailing price is 735 rupees per kg. Now on 12th of September they have bought 10 metric tons at 735 per kg in physical market, and now their requirement for the next 4 weeks is 10 metric tons per week. Now they want to ensure that even for the next 4 weeks, whatever future buying they will do, they want a price of 735 per kg. They want to lock that price. They want to lock that cost. So what they will do, now kindly understand what they will do on the 12th of September when they initially buy the 10 metric ton at 735, they will buy further 40 metric tons on MCX platform. They will buy 40 metric tons of copper futures at 736 rupees. Now, why 40 metric tons? Because they want to buy 10 metric ton each week for the next 4 weeks. So that comes to 40 metric tons. So in this way, when they buy their first 10 metric ton in physical market at 735, immediately they will take a position of 40 metric ton in copper future contract and price at 736. Now, on 19th September, as scheduled, they will buy 10 metric tons from physical market. As soon as they buy 10 metric tons from physical market, they will reduce their position in copper futures on MCX. Since they have taken their position in physical market, since they have already purchased the raw material in physical market. Now, what has happened over here on 19th September is that when they have bought 10 metric tons at 738, on 12th September, the price was 735. But on 19th September, the price rose to 738. Now, as I said earlier, the basic intention of the firm ABC was to lock in the price of 735. Now, price has risen by 3 rupees. Now, this price rise in the physical market, so that is a loss in the physical market, and there will be a gain of 3. Similarly, there will be a gain of 3 rupees in the MCX futures market, copper futures market. You can see that they have sold that 10 metric ton at 739. They had initially bought at 736. So, but they initially bought at 736, but while selling, they got the price prevailing was 739. So whatever was the loss in physical market, whatever was the extra cost in physical market has been recovered on through the position taken in copper futures on MCX. So that is the main purpose of hedging, that the cost has remained stable at 735 even on 19th September with the fluctuation of price. Now going ahead on 26th September, suppose the copper prices in the physical market is at 731, which is 4 rupees lower than the original buying price. Now certainly that there is an advantage, there is a profit in the physical market, but as I said earlier, the purpose of hedging is not to make profit, but to lock in the margins, to lock the cost of product, to lock the cost. Now, whatever is the profit in physical market will be the loss in futures market. Now, if you look at the copper futures on 26 September, the rate is 732, means the buying rate was 736. So there is a 4 rupees loss on MCX. So in the one market, in physical market, there was a 4 rupees profit, but he has to bear a loss of 4 rupees in futures market. So basic intention, again I repeat, is to maintain the cost at 735, which in this case the purpose has been served. So the purpose of hedging is to offset the loss in one market with the gain in another market. So similarly, for on October 2nd, again 10 lots has been bought as scheduled, and he removes the 10 remove on MCX. He removes the removes or sells the 10 metric tons at prevailing price, that is 744. Now if you look at the October 2nd range, there was a sharp rise in price from 735 to 743. So there is almost a 8 rupees rise in price. So that 8 rupees has been gained on MCX. So he has bought initial 40 metric tons at 736, and out of that 10 metric tons is sold at 744. So that 8 rupees loss in physical market has been gained through hedging in MCX copper future contract. So in this way, ABC company can lock in their price and can minimize their risk exposure to the fluctuation in price. So finally, on 9th of October, the last lot which the ABC company buys at 732, immediately it removes or it square off the position on exchange, and it settles that contract. So if you look at the entire structure of hedging, the basic intention of the ABC company was to maintain the cost at 735, which it has been able to do very successfully through this strategy. So in this way, the hedging strategy can be devised, and hedging can be done using copper futures contract and definitely the other base metal contract also. I will take one more example. So here is a bit different scenario. Now ABC, there's a company named ABC who generally imports 10 metric tons of copper to conduct a routine production, and it converts that into finished goods. So for converting raw material to finished good takes 1 month time. Now ABC company is exposure to price risk because there is a 1 month or 30 days price gap to convert raw material to finished goods. So in that 1 month, it is if you are seeing that the copper price volatility was approximately 29.37%. So certainly ABC company as a company don't know what will the price after 30 days. So certainly it is exposed to great risk. So how it can use MCX platform to hedge their copper position. Now on the 1st September, whenever they buy the 10 metric ton from physical market, immediately they will sell the same quantity in futures market, in copper futures market on MCX. So if you look at the lower table, on 1st September, they have bought in physical market 10 metric ton with a for a price of 750. Immediately they have taken a sell position on futures contract at 751. Now the quantity should be same. The quantity bought in physical market and sold on exchange should be the same. So this setup they initiated on the 1st of September. So on 30th of September, what has happened is that the copper price will take both the scenarios. On 30th September, suppose if the copper price in the physical market comes down to 743, so that loss in the physical market is offset by the gain in futures market. If you can see the futures market, there is a profit of 7 rupees. Now how this profit? Because initially the position taken is in future market was a sell position at 751. On 30th September, the price quoted is 744. So the whenever the position is squared off or when the position is closed, there will be the profit of 7 rupees. Now suppose if the price moves up to 757. Now in this case, the ABC company benefits in the gets a benefit in the physical market, but however it has to bear a loss in the copper futures market. So it has sold at 751, but on the day on which it intends to exit this position is 758. So the gain in physical market will be the loss in future market, or the loss in the physical market will be the gain in the future market. So with the help of these two examples, it is very clear the hedging strategy which is devised by the companies or by the any corporates is basically to lock in margins and not for profits, or profit and loss remains immaterial. The main intention of hedging is to lock in cost and or lock in margin. So in this way, you can use the various metal futures contract on MCX to hedge your position as per your requirement you can devise a strategy, you can lock in a production, and you can certainly minimize the risk of price fluctuation through hedging strategies. Now, as far as copper and all the base metal contracts are concerned, now last 5 working days of the expiry month are staggered delivery tender period. Now, all these the last 5 working days of every contract month will be the staggered delivery tender period. Now, now I have taken here the different scenarios. If you look at the September month, September 30 is the last day. So, last 5 working days, excluding Saturday and Sunday, you should exclude that, will be the staggered delivery tender period. Now, those who are willing to take and to indulge into delivery of the base metal can continue having their position during this period. But those who don't intend to take the delivery on MCX can roll over before the start of the tender period. On September 23, they can roll over to October contracts, and similarly in October, the last working day, the last expiry day of the October contract will be 29th October. So Monday 25th will be the tender will be the start of the tender period. So on 22, because since 23, 24 is Saturday and Sunday, so on 22nd 22nd of October, those who are not willing to take the delivery, they can roll over to November contract, and those who are willing to take delivery, they can continue to hold their position in the tender period. So these are the different scenarios with respect to the delivery tender period. So last 5 working days of every contract, last 5 working days of the expiry month for every contract will be the staggered delivery tender period. Now, to participate participate in hedging, the client or participant is either required to be the member of the exchange or can trade through the member of the exchange, which are generally known as brokers. Now, there are various brokers like Motilal Oswal, Sher Khan, Kotak. So there are various national level brokers. You can become a member of such broker, and you can participate in hedging. And second option is you can directly become the member of the exchange and participate in the hedging. So totally depending upon the requirement. So these are basic do's and don'ts. Thank you. And if you have any query, please we'll be happy to answer that.
Hi, Prakashji. It was wonderful interaction and good knowledge to have how we can, dilute our risk of such high volatility of metals. Anyways, one question that everyone will be having is, what is the cost parameters when we do the hedging? So when we are buying the physical quantity of 10 tons or 15 tons, and then against that we are buying 10, we are selling 10, 15 tons of physical quantity on MCX. So what is the cost parameters and what is the margin money we need to give?
All right. So it's a good question, Mehtaji, because at the end, when you do a additional activity, what is the cost of doing that is going to be a issue always. I would say, cost of transacting on MCX is very identical to what you end up paying whenever you do any individual equity transaction. Okay, just to give you a broad idea. Now, what are the components? जब हम when you pay margin to MCX, so that margin you pay to the broker and broker gives it to exchange. That's how it works. So the margin blockage, typically all the contracts what we have are typically about double digit रहता है, करीब 11-12% का minimum आप मान के चलिए. So that is the percentage blocking. So which means if you have taken a value, so एक एल्यूमिनियम का 1 kg का अगर मान लो कि 200 रुपए का भाव है और 200 रुपए पे 1 टन का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, तो 200 into 1000, तो 2 लाख रुपए पे 10% का मार्जिन हमारा लगता है. So that is the blockage which will happen. Now, if you have to do a costing, which means the margin kept with MCX, उस पे जो interest का cost है, that becomes cost component for the execution, which is broadly speaking. उसके अलावा brokerage. Now मेरा ये मानना है कि brokerage और ये तमाम costings को अगर आप aggregate कर भी लें, तो भी percentage terms में this is not going to go beyond at the most 0.5%. At the most 0.5% in worst case scenario. All right, which means currency risk taken care of, commodity risk taken care of, premium risk taken care of, you are fully hedged, and all of this is coming to you with an additional cost of about 0.5%. Now, having said so, it is also equally important to realize that the gains and losses, because there is pay in payout which is happening. So when you transact on MCX, so either you are receiving money or you are paying money. You either make money or you lose money and the transaction. But it's not, so it is treated as a business income, business loss. So under the Income Tax Act, section 43(5), you will not have any issue because you can show the gains and losses on MCX against the business income and losses. So it is allowed to be offset against that. That's provided when you do it on MCX and this thing. So cost wise, 0.5% at the most, and benefit wise, when you do it in the company name and this thing, you basically have an income tax benefit under the section 43(5), where the gains and losses on the commodity exchange, which is MCX, is allowed to be offset against the the business income and losses.
Okay, so just for an example, अगर 10 टन hedge करना है, so my margin money will be approximately 1 टन का जो value होता है copper का, and my expenses part will be 0.5%, which includes buy and sell both.
टोटल वैल्यू ट्रांजैक्शन तो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. जैसे 735 रुपए का कॉपर का भाव है पर केजी. सो 735 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1000 तो 1 टन का हो गया 7,35,000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय मतलब आपने अगर 10 टन की पोजीशन ली है तो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 10 एंड अ 10% ऑफ दैट बिकम्स द मार्जिन मनी. सो 735 इंटू 1000 इंटू 10 इंटू 10% ऑफ दैट इज द मार्जिन मनी. और वो जो टोटल वैल्यू आती है, सो 735 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 10, इसकी जो वैल्यू है उसका 0.5% is what the cost of hedging would be at the most.
And it will be for buy and sell both the positions.
हाँ, every time it will happen. तो आपने एक बार वैल्यू खरीदी, एक बार वैल्यू बेची, so what will happen? 735 into 1000 into 10 into 2, परसेंटेज रिमेन्स द सेम. सो जितना वैल्यू ट्रांजैक्शन हो जाएगा उसका 0.5% मोटा मोटी पकड़ के चलिए.
हाँ, मतलब इट इज बिटवीन इन एंड आउट दोनों पे 0.5% लगेगा.
Yes.
So that 1% becomes a cost for us for hedging.
Yes.
1% both legs. Yes, it becomes the cost of hedging because you're right. So entry के टाइम पे 0.5%, exit के टाइम पे 0.5%, 1% लग जाएगा. And the added benefit of getting all the business income loss offset which you are getting on the gains and losses what you do on MC.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
that is not available to any other entity or individual.
Of course, 30% volatility के सामने 1% is
Yeah.
what we have to absorb.
Yes.
Plus second इसमें benefit ये है कि this can be done in company's name, right? So the company can become
Yes,
a member.
and I would insist that if you open the account on the company name, मल्टीपल थिंग्स मतलब वो बिजनेस इनकम और लॉस वाला जो ऑफसेट है वो आपको मिल जाता है. प्लस देर आर होस्ट ऑफ मतलब कंपनी के नेम पे करने में आप ब्रोकर को बैंक गारंटी भी दे सकते हैं. मार्जिन मनी जो देना है इनिशियल मार्जिन में तो खैर कैश ही देना पड़ता है, बट वेरिएशन मार्जिन या एमटीएम के टाइम पे देर आर होस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स अवेलेबल. आप बैंक गारंटी दे सकते हैं, आप शेयर्स दे सकते हैं, आप एफडी दे सकते हैं, होस्ट ऑफ. नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू बिलीव दैट दीज फ्लेक्सिबिलिटीज individual की बजाय these are more available to the company or entity than anything else.
Okay. सेकंड क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे कि राटा के जो मेंबर्स हैं उनकी टिकट साइज पर मंथ हो सकती है 500 किलो से लेके 550 टन तक. और राटा के जो मेंबर्स है उनकी जो टिकट बाइंग होती है वो
सुनाई दे रहा है, अभी सुनाई दे रहा है।
हाँ, तो उनकी जो टिकट साइज है वो 5 टन से 500 केजी से लेके 50 टन तक भी होती है। और कभी कभी उनको जो प्राइस हेज करना होता है दैट कैन गो अप टू 6 मंथ्स ऑल्सो एंड 9 मंथ्स ऑल्सो कंसिडरिंग द प्रोजेक्ट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन। उसमें कैसे अगर वो मंथली जब भी रोटेट मंथली प्राइस जब भी क्लोजर होता है तो उसको कैसे रिस्क को डाइल्यूट कर सकता है?
ओके, तो MCX पे जो कॉपर का लॉट है महेंद्र भाई, उसका मिनिमम लॉट साइज जो है वो 2.5 टन का,
Okay.
ठीक है। सो विच मीन्स द मिनिमम क्वांटिटी यू कैन बाय एंड सेल इन वन गो इज 2.5 टन, विच मीन्स कि अगर और दिस अब आप समझ लीजिए कि जैसे हाफ अ के हाफ अ टन या 500 केजी वाला जो जो एंटिटी है उसको 6 महीने के लिए हेज करना है, तो 6 महीना मल्टीप्लाइड बाय हाफ अ टन मतलब हो गया करीब 3 टन। ऑलराइट, सो fragmenting 2.5 tons is impossible, but what is possible is that if you can average it out. So let's take an example, suppose 50 tons. Now what will happen 50 tons पर 50 tons आपको हर महीने चाहिए और आपने अगर 6 महीने के लिए पोजीशन लेनी तो आपको 300 टन हो गया। What can be done is that you take cover or position or hedge yourself on the first month or second month where wherever the liquidity is, and when you get closer to that, जितनी भी क्वांटिटी आपकी हेज करके आपने अगर फिजिकली प्रोक्योर कर दिया उतने से पोजीशन काट दीजिए, तो बैलेंस आपकी जो है हेज वाली पोजीशन रह जाएगी। वो मैच्योरिटी पे आने के बाद आपको जितनी ड्यूरेशन आगे के लिए उसको चाहिए उसको रोल ओवर कर दीजिए फिर से। तो विच मीन्स जैसे पहले आपने 2 महीने फॉरवर्ड के लिए लिया और दूसरे महीने की मैच्योरिटी आते आते आप उसको रोल ओवर कर दीजिए फिर 2 महीने के लिए। सो द टोटल लेंथ ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट डिजाइन बिकम्स 4 मंथ दैट वे। एंड प्रोग्रेसिवली जब कभी आप फिजिकल में माल लेते हैं या बेचते हैं, जब आपको डी हेज करना रहता है, जैसे वो सौदा हो या उसकी प्राइस एक बार नक्की होती है, प्रोग्रेसिवली आप MCX पोजीशन को कम करते जाइए। सो रोल ओवर के टाइम पे इट विल बी द लेसर क्वांटिटी विच विल बी रिक्वायर्ड टू रोल ओवर, and length of the duration for which you require hedge can continue till the extent you want.
सो 6 महीने के लिए समझो हेज करना है तो एवरी मंथ देयर विल बी कमीशन और द ब्रोकरेज।
सो 6 महीने मतलब 6 महीने के लिए हेज करना, तो मेरा ये मानना है कि आपको सेकेंड मंथ में आप हेज करेंगे तो रोलिंग की आपको 3 मरतबा जरूरत पड़ेगी। पहली मरतबा आप पोजीशन लेंगे, फिर दूसरा रोल ओवर करेंगे 4 महीना, तीसरी बार रोल करेंगे 6 महीना। 3 बार आपने रोल ओवर किया and accordingly, so every time you do the transaction, you are right, every time you do the transaction you will have to bear the brokerage and the cost, that is one. बट जब आपने शुरू भी किया तब आपने 50 सो 300 टन जो भी टोटल क्वांटिटी थी आपने उसके लिए हेज किया। रोल ओवर के टाइम पे रिक्वायरमेंट 300 टन की नहीं रहेगी, शायद 200 टन की रह जाए या 150 टन की रह जाए, देन रोल ओवर विल बी फॉर 150 टन, सो दैट इज अकॉर्डिंगली, which is why we always mention that explaining 0.5% becomes very easy, because now whatever value you transact it becomes the percentage of.
So it means half a percent every month. What I understand?
Yes. Yeah. 0.5% every month and the amount of money which you
every roll over कह सकते हैं, या 0.5% every roll over.
अगर आपने 2 महीने का रोल ओवर लिया तो 2 महीने के बाद लगेगा महेंद्र भाई, दैट इज व्हाट राइट, दैट्स राइट मिस्टर अगे।
yes absolutely
राइट। नहीं, कंसीडरिंग द वॉलेटिलिटी ये कॉस्ट कम है, बट अभी कैसा है कि अभी व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड इज आगे का जो पीरियड आ रहा है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी मोर वॉलेटाइल।
नहीं सर महेंद्र भाई, मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ बस, मतलब आई हैव बीन इन MCX फॉर लास्ट 15 ईयर एंड एवरी ईयर ना वी फील कि यार आने वाले समय में ज्यादा होगा, ठीक है। सो व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू रियलाइज इज कि जो 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 चार्ट प्रकाश ने दिखाया था कि चाहे ज्यादा वॉलेटिलिटी के समय हो चाहे कम वॉलेटिलिटी के समय हो, लेकिन कॉपर में ऑन एन एवरेज 22-23% के नीचे तो है ही नहीं काम, ठीक है। और मैं लोगों को क्या बोलता हूँ कि इतना अगर 20% के मार्जिन है धंधे में, या है भी कि नहीं है, ये तो मतलब यू नो बेटर देन व्हाट, आई डोंट नीड टू रियली, मतलब इतने का मार्जिन अगर नहीं है तो वॉलेटिलिटी कम हो चाहे ज्यादा हो, गुंजाइश ही नहीं बनती है सर, हेज करना ही चाहिए।
नहीं, ये तो करेक्ट है क्योंकि 20% का मार्जिन तो कोई बिजनेस में नहीं होता है आजकल, स्पेशली बेस मेटल में। ठीक है, इसमें क्या होता है कि कोई लॉस करता है, कोई प्रॉफिट करता है, बट लॉस करने वालों की प्रोपोर्शन और नंबर से बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है।
सी एक तरफा
स्पेशली राटा में क्या है कि कंज्यूमर इंडस्ट्री है, तो दे आर ऑल बायर्स ऑफ मेटल्स और बायर
या
ऑफ फिनिश प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कॉपर स्पेशली।
एग्जैक्टली
और वो जब भी ऑर्डर लेते हैं फ्रॉम एनी बिल्डर और एनी डेवलपर, तो वो अपनी प्राइस, रॉ मटेरियल प्राइस को फिक्स कर देते हैं और वो एक साल तक उसी प्राइस के ऊपर उनको सप्लाई करना पड़ता है।
बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल। ये जो प्रकाश ने जो 2 एग्जाम्पल दिए ना सर, उसमें एक्चुअली वी विल यूज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू सेड। जब उसने ये कहा कि वी बाय फर्स्ट एंड सेल लेटर, इसका कहने का मतलब क्या है पता? नाउ यू थिंक इट फ्रॉम योर एंगल। अगर आपने पहले ऑर्डर लिया, इसका मतलब ये है कि मेटल की लैंग्वेज में ये हो गया कि पहले आपने बेच दिया।
हाँ,
ऑर्डर लिया मतलब मेटल बेच दिया, पहले कमिट कर दी। अब वो बनाने के लिए जब आप रॉ मटेरियल खरीदने जाते हैं, सो यूर बाइंग लेटर। तो ये जो टर्मिनोलॉजी व्हाट एमसीएक्स इज यूजिंग इसेंशियली मींस दिस, बाय फर्स्ट सेल लेटर। मतलब ये होता है कि पहले मैं रॉ मटेरियल खरीदता हूँ, बनाता हूँ, ब्रांडिंग करता हूँ, अपने डीलर के पास रखता हूँ, और जब कभी वो बिकेगा तब बिकेगा। यू नो, इफ आई हैव टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, फॉर एग्जांपल से पॉलीकैब है या यू नो ये जो फिनोलेक्स है, व्हाट दे डू, कॉपर खरीदा, सीसी रॉड बनाया, या ये यू नो घर में लगने
they
वाले जो
create raw
वायरिंग
material,
वगैरह।
they buy raw material and create the finished product to sell.
अब वो क्या होता है, रॉ मटेरियल पहले खरीदते हैं और फिनिश्ड गुड जो है ना बाद में बिकता है। So they are buying first, selling later.
Yes,
That was
here
one
it is
example
ulta.
which Prakash took. And the another example is where you guys are placed, where you sell first,
Yeah,
and thereafter we pray that the price should not change. Okay, so if you don't, if so the another choice is, if you hedge, then the blessings will come, then the prayers will be answered in way of hedging.
yeah, price, safety, exposure. Your exposure becomes minimum there,
हाँ,
which is
cool.
very, very
So
critical.
that brings us to Bakul bhai, to what you know, essentially initially what I mentioned, that the aim and agenda has to be how do we ensure that the margins remain intact.
Yeah,
मतलब सी, तेजी मंदी आने से हमारा बिजनेस तो बंद होने वाला नहीं, और हम बंद करना भी नहीं चाहते। नाउ
yes,
इशू इज हाउ यू रिमेन प्रॉफिटेबल, वेदर इट इज तेजी और वेदर इट इज मंदी।
Mandi, yes,
तेजी
yes.
और मंदी जो है ना, वो कमोडिटी प्राइस की है सर, हमारे को तो हमारा धंधा करते ही रहना है ना।
हाँ, करना ही है, yes, yes, yes.
So you have to adopt, you have to change, and you have to accept a new method. And I think this is a very normal method prevalent hedging. भगवान की दया से people who have been exposed, you know, who have exposure to currency by way of import export, तो
हाँ, yeah,
currency hedging के बारे में लोगों को पता है। तो my point is the theme and theory is same. Now
yeah.
you have to think of copper and aluminum, अगर वैसा है तो in that fashion.
The challenge has been hedging has always been looked at big people's game. It is not for the smaller ones. It is not for the SME. It's not for the 2 tons kind of a thing. Like when you tell me that 2.5 ton metric, 2.5 tons, yeah, that's a product or that's a size which someone can play around. You tell me
Yes.
20 tons of hedging, I might say, my God, इतना सारा पैसा लगा पाऊंगा या नहीं लगा पाऊंगा, मुझे आगे जरूरत आएगी या नहीं आएगी. So what you are saying is, yeah, with hedging,
तो जो आपको पैसा लगाना है उसमें अगर मैं आपको ये बोलता हूँ कि करीब 10 से 11% का मार्जिन है, तो जो पैसा ब्लॉकेज है वो 10% ही है सर।
yes,
बट
yes,
10% लेकर के पूरे 100% की प्राइस
Yeah.
फ्लक्चुएशन को आप कैप्चर, मतलब यू नो
yes,
हेज कर
yes,
सकते
yes. No, no, this is very useful. Yeah, maybe we'll have to simplify it a little bit more for the SSDs. What Mahendra Bhai is trying to tell is that we have dealers, as he rightly said, someone like me would require about 500 kilos or 1,000 kilos a month. But someone is there who is booked up an order of 10,000 machines for next 1 year, and he knows he's
जी।
going to require so much. And if he can
Exactly.
play this rightly, yes. If
Yes.
not more, he can
Mhm.
reduce his exposure of his funds and
Yes,
losses.
yes,
His exposure to
yes,
losses can be taken, because copper is the only material which kills, because that is the highest consumed product as far as air conditioning is concerned. For finished products, we are not bothered, because like us, our brands also must be doing some hedging. So अगर हमने एक
yes.
प्राइस में डन कर लिया बिल्डर से 10,000 मशीन, वो प्राइस will stay with the brand. That has got nothing to do with the dealer. The challenge is when I take up low side cost, and that low side cost वो बिल्डर ने नीचे लाइन मार के साइन कर दिया, उसके बाद हम जान ले लेंगे, वो 1 रुपया बढ़ा के नहीं देगा, तो ना उसमें से कुछ निकलेगा. That is where this could be very useful. Yeah, Mahendra, this could be really, really useful. If it can be explained, maybe I would request if we can explain a little bit small. I don't know. Maybe we can throw across some examples to you. Maybe the larger ones, Mahendra bhai, jaise Lavinder ji hai ya Subha ma'am hai, if they can give their examples of 3,000
Sure.
kilos or 10,000 kilos to be hedged, how that Excel sheet would give them, as Mr. Rege said, कि मैं पहले महीने में शायद एक टन उतार लूंगा, बाकी के 9 टन मैं अगले 6 महीने में उतारूंगा, रोल ओवर करूंगा. तो एक्सेल शीट में वो कॉस्ट कितनी चली जाती है. आई एम श्योर इट इज मच मोर चीपर देन द प्राइस increment of the base value of copper. I think that's where the whole differentiation would be useful. Yeah, this would be very useful.
It is not about price rise. I will tell you another tricky issue जो हम बहुत conveniently भूल जाते हैं. ये जो वॉलेटिलिटी की बात हम कर रहे हैं, या जो आपको प्रकाश ने जो नंबर बताया सर, ये एवरी डे का है. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, जो MCX में जब कभी कोई प्राइवेटली हमसे चर्चा करता है ना, मेरे को किस तरीके के सवाल पूछते मैं आपको बताता हूँ. वो बोलेगा कि जिस दिन मैं खरीदने जाता हूँ ना सर, वो सबसे महंगा होता है, जिस दिन मैं बेचने जाता हूँ उस दिन सस्ता होता है. ठीक है. सो माय पॉइंट इज दैट दिस गेसिंग गेम हैज टू गो आउट ऑफ विंडो. मीनिंग आपके बिजनेस में MCX का रोल ऐसा होना चाहिए कि कॉपर का प्राइस इज नाउ टेकन केयर एट MCX. जिस भी दिन मैंने रॉ मटेरियल को खरीदा, मुझे MCX में से हेजिंग कम करनी. अब वो भाव ऊपर है भैया, MCX का भाव अगर ऊपर है तो आपको ये भी ऊपर मिलेगा, MCX का भाव अगर नीचे है तो ये भी नीचे मिलेगा. ऑलराइट. नाउ if ये तेजी moment you get disconnected with the focus on margins and you start playing कि मैं I will time the market, then the timing the market will occupy your thinking, sir.
That's the danger. That is the biggest danger. Yeah.
So
that is where
Prakash was very clear. He has been telling every third statement. This is not for profit making or anything. This is for safeguarding your interest.
मतलब कैश फ्लो होगा, कैश इनफ्लो और कैश आउटफ्लो होगा, बट पैसा अगर आया तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका व्यू बहुत सही चला गया है. हाँ, किस दिन रॉ मटेरियल आप प्राइसिंग करेंगे, उसके जिस दिन आपने प्राइसिंग किया उस दिन आपको डीहेज करना है. जिस दिन आपने इट्स लाइक दिस, एवरीथिंग इज ड्रिवन बाय द इकोसिस्टम. आपको जिस दिन ऑर्डर मिला उस दिन आपने पकड़ के चला था कि भैया 735 रुपए का कॉपर है और मेरा मार्जिन इसमें 50 रुपए का है. अब 735 जिस दिन ऑर्डर मिला उसको आपको 735 आप हेज कर दीजिए. हाँ, अब जिस दिन माल खरीदेंगे उस दिन अगर 800 का भाव है तो MCX में जो आपने 735 में खरीदा वो 800 में बिकेगा, लेकिन जो रॉ मटेरियल खरीदेंगे वो तो 800 मिलेगा. ठीक है. और 735 वाला अगर नीचे चला गया तो आपको चीप मिलेगा, लेकिन आपका जो वो 50 रुपए का जो मार्जिन है ना सर, उसमें कोई 19-20 नहीं होगा.
This is basically insulating your profits from all sorts of volatility. Simple as such. Okay.
It's a insurance. Yes. Exactly. It's a insurance and it's a purely disciplined way of doing this. सर आप ये आंख बंद कर दी. मतलब जिन लोगों से, the reason why Prakash is referring to that sentence very often is, unless you make it mechanical, unless you say भाई कि परचेज वाले को बता दिया कि जिस दिन भी तूने खरीदा है ना, दिस फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट को बोल देना है या अकाउंट्स वाले को बोल देना है कि डीएच कर लो. मतलब वो अगर साहब से पूछने आएगा ना, सेठ जी मैं क्या करूं, वहीं पे जो है ना सर, क्या करूं मैं, क्या होता है, आदमी पूछता है भाव क्या चल रहा है, और भाव क्या चल रहा है, फिर उसके बाद वो जो कहानी चलती है ना सर कि एक बार देखते हैं,
फिर वो तेजी मंदी की स्टोरी शुरू होती है. राइट. बढ़िया.
नहीं, फ्लक्चुएशन लॉसेस एंड प्रॉफिट के ऊपर तो डिपेंड रह नहीं सकता. आई थिंक वो सिस्टम का मार्जिन को इंटैक्ट कर देगा ये हेजिंग प्लेटफॉर्म. दैट शुड बी अ क्लियर कट मैसेज टू एवरीवन कि आप उसको एक टूल तरीके यूज कीजिए जो आपके सिस्टम के मार्जिन को इंटैक्ट करेगा. इट शुड नॉट बी फॉर एनी स्पेक्युलेटिव गेन्स और लॉसेस. उसी के कारण
और हमने ये एग्जांपल सभी, मतलब महेंद्र भाई आपने जो एग्जांपल दिए, इट इज वेरी सिमिलर एक्सेप्ट दैट द इंडस्ट्री इज डिफरेंट. नाउ पीपल हु आर इन द ऑटोमोटिव इंडस्ट्री, वो सब यही बोलते हैं कि हमें OEM ने एक बार बिजनेस दिया कि भाई आप इतने व्हील्स, इतने पिस्टन, इतने कास्टिंग्स ये डिलीवर कर दीजिए. 6 महीने का ऑर्डर मिल गया है, इसकी फलाने की जो लाइन है वो आपको इतना कंपोनेंट है. तो वी आर ऑब्सेस्ड विद कि मुझे इतने कंपोनेंट सप्लाई करने हैं, पर उसके वो कंपोनेंट बना करके प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी मेंटेन होगी, चाहे एल्यूमिनियम का भाव यहाँ से डबल हो जाए चाहे आधा हो जाए. Only then it will happen. So, pick any industry. My point is, you pick any industry. It is very simplified, provided you want to think it simple. It is very simple. भाई मैंने अगर टेंडर की तरह अगर टेंडर लिया तो आपको उसी दिन पता लग जाना चाहिए कि साहब ये अगर मेरे को 10 करोड़ का टेंडर मिला है और उसमें कॉपर का परसेंटेज अगर 7 करोड़ का है, तो ये 7 करोड़ को मुझे कैसे हेज करना है। और आपने एक बार हेज किया तो उसके बाद जब कभी रॉ मटेरियल खरीदें उतना उतना डी हेज करते जाइए, ओनली देन इट विल इट विल वर्क वेरी स्मूथली.
Yes, yes. Sir, a simple
ओके,
question,
एक
sir.
और
One more.
क्वेश्चन।
जी सर,
हाँ,
जी महेंद्र भाई.
मैंने एक और क्वेश्चन है कि अभी एक एज अ राटा एसोसिएशन व्हाट वी विल एक्सपेक्ट एंड वांट इज कि आप थोड़ा सा उसको और लुक्रेटिव
Simplify.
चीज बताइए, लुक्रेटिव चीज बताइए कि 1% आधा परसेंट है कि उसको एज अ राटा वी विल नेगोशिएट, कि हम लोग कैसे मेंबर्स को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दे सके कि बीइंग ए राटा एसोसिएशन वी हैव नेगोशिएटेड ऑन दिस
Yeah.
कि जितना
So
कॉस्ट
so
कम हो सके उतना, बिकॉज एवरीबडी विल
so
वांट टू हेज इट.
yeah. सी महेंद्र भाई, ये MCX का बेसिक जो ट्रांजैक्शन स्ट्रक्चर है ना, वो इतना कम है. मैं आपको बताता हूँ. सो व्हाट हैपेंस दैट बिकॉज वी डोंट डील विद क्लाइंट्स डायरेक्टली, वी आर डीलिंग विद द ब्रोकर्स. मीनिंग ये जितने भी आपको लीडिंग नाम पता है, मतलब चाहे वो रेलीगेयर है, चाहे आनंद राठी है, चाहे मोतीलाल ओसवाल है, चाहे एंजल है या शेर खान है, जितने भी नाम आप समझते हैं नाउ, तो इंसिडेंटली एवर सिंस सेबी हैज कम वी आल्सो हैव दीज बैंक ब्रोकरेज हाउसेस, मतलब HDFC
Yeah.
सिक्योरिटीज, एक्सिस सिक्योरिटीज, दे आर आल्सो brokers. Now when they quote their price, it is inclusive of the MCX. So आप अगर कभी देखेंगे ना तो ब्रेकअप में रहता है कि एक्सचेंज फी कितनी है, एंड यू विल रियलाइज दैट व्हेन आई से 0.5%, वी आर पैथेटिकली स्मॉलर पोर्शन ऑफ दैट 0.5%. ओके, सो बट वी कैन नॉट से दैट सिस्टम डजंट हैव द. तो अगर ब्रोकर से नेगोशिएट तो कर सकते हैं सर, ऐसी बात नहीं है. So I mean, I don't have I would say magic wand which can get you a discount there. But I think when you deal with brokers, and if you do once they realize, I think sir benefits are passed on. मतलब उसमें कोई doubt ही नहीं है. But I would urge that I mean, we can give you references to meet, or otherwise also all these leading names मैंने जो आपको बताया, in one way or the other you might be already knowing them. It is very easy to access them. एंड मतलब बिजनेस का तो वो तरीका ही है सर, मतलब मोमेंट यू स्पीक टू 4-5 पीपल यू वुड नो व्हाट इज द वेयर द इक्विलिब्रियम इज.
एक रीजन क्या है कि एक वाइट पेपर बना के हम अपने मेंबर्स को एक सर्कुलेट करें कि दिस विल बी अ कॉस्ट एंड दिस विल बी अ मार्जिन मनी विच विल बी, सो एक वो उनको एक लेमैन तरीके समझ में आ जाएगा कि क्या कॉस्ट आएगा क्या आएगा.
Sure. I will what we will do is we will anyways share the PPT what we did today, and in addition we probably will give you additional pointers what you are looking for,
Yeah.
which probably will help the members of RATA to take pragmatic decisions. Pending that, Mahendra bhai, मेरा ये मानना है कि even if you negotiate, because I am saying the cost itself is 0.5%, वो 0.5% में whatever savings you will get is going to be improving your bottom line. But the volatility which is already there in the system, कि ये 735 से 800 जा रहा है कि 650 जा रहा है, this is far bigger number to really worry about, which I believe that I would encourage all the RATA members to get going and start thinking on those lines. Members of the exchange or the brokers of the exchange are lot of people have very good manpower which can educate, guide, and in any case we will supplement you with whatever information you want for the benefit of the members.
Interesting.
Perfect.
This should be. Sir, एक simple जैसे महेंद्र भाई ने बताया, if you can get something in a very common language for us, someone maybe I don't know how do I put it across to you, but in a very common language, common man's language, उसको अपने को ये बताना है कि आपका ये जो 20% का वॉलेटिलिटी है, अगर आप अपने आप को सेफगार्ड कर लेते हो और साल भर में आप 2 टन करते हैं, तब भी आपका इतना पैसा बचता है. Like 735 to 835, 100 rupees a kilo. Even if it is 2000 kilos a year, I am not saying big value. 2000 किलो आपने अगर साल भर में भी बेचा और 100 रुपया भी बचा, तो it is big money saving. And this could be a big. Sir, our interest is when my members, or to be becoming a or would be member, people who are waiting to become member, when they will see that saving of 2.5 lakhs rupees a year, then we can push them at 6,000 for 3 years. 2 lakhs rupees a year is a very good proposition. We are trying to
Sounds
use
good.
this
Sounds good.
as a good offering to members, which is in turn making their life very, very happy. And the
Okay.
best part is they are safeguarded. There is no,
Yes.
हम कहीं किसी को एक्सपोज नहीं कर रहे गलत चीजों के ऊपर, हम उनको कुछ
Yes.
नया ढंग सिखा रहे हैं, which could be
Yes.
very, very useful for their life. So yeah,
Yes.
it could be a great thing if you can give it to us on a simple piece of a simple plain paper, which could
We
explain
will.
steps and the benefits of it, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure.
ताकि
We
एक
will.
वो
We will.
पेपर मिले तो वी कैन सर्कुलेट अमंग द मेंबर एग्जैक्टली के किस तरह से ये ट्रेड होगा.
समझ गया. बिल्कुल समझ गया सर.
And maybe you can suggest one or two brokers name who can be a part of our discussions whenever we are calling the members one more time, for them to
Okay.
understand the costing and how does it work. Like you have
Sure,
given
sir.
us the larger picture, a broker will give an individual picture. भाई बकुल भाई आपको करना है, आपको शायद लगता है 2 ही टन करना है, तो आप 2
जी.
टन करेंगे तो 1 2 3 4 5 ये स्टेप्स होंगे, इतना कॉस्ट होगा, 6 महीने में टोटल ये कॉस्ट होगा और अप्रोक्सीमेट ये आपका बचत होगा. This could be a
ठीक है.
very good thing for them, sir. This could be very
Sure,
good.
sure, sure. We'll be happy to. Yes.
अच्छा, दूसरा और एक क्वेश्चन है, ये तो एक जस्ट अभी एक है कि वॉलेटिलिटी कितना होगा, कैसे होगा, कोई एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकता, कोई प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकता है.
जी.
कोई प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर सकता कि वॉलेटिलिटी कॉपर में कितना होगा, एल्यूमिनियम में क्या होगा, एक साल के बाद कितना बढ़ सकता है, कितना घट सकता है. तो अगेंस्ट दैट मतलब आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स क्वेश्चन है, जस्ट टू सेफगार्ड ऐसे ट्रेंड क्या चल रहा है, ये क्या चल रहा है एमसीएक्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे, कुछ ऐसा आप ओवरव्यू दे सकते हैं कभी?
सर प्राइस को तो वी डोंट ट्रैक दैट क्लोजली, सो फ्रैंकली वी डोंट, मतलब एवरी टाइम वी डू अ प्रेजेंटेशन वी हैव टू, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग वी हैव टू चेंज इज द प्राइस एंड मेक इट मोर रेलेवेंट टू करंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. वरना पिछली बार अगर पीपीटी किया था तब 650 का भाव था. we don't track very honestly, and price view is, I mean, anybody's guess, Mahendra bhai. I mean, you are as good as me. I mean, we can toss the coin and we know tomorrow what is going to happen. So our and sabere se sham tak bhi, this MCX is working from 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. मतलब minute to minute अगर हम I mean, we'll have to retire now. I mean, if we have to really track and make a guess of what is going to be the price. But I will broadly tell you what has been our experience, particularly for last, since we converted the contracts to delivery settle, because this was very interesting phenomena, excellent, learning for me in particular. That 2019 का साल था ना महेंद्र भाई, उसमें माल आ रहा था, माल जा रहा था. इट वाज वेरी रूटीन. एवरीबडी इन द वर्ल्ड न्यू कि मुझे माल कहाँ से आता है, कहाँ जाता है, प्राइस ऊपर जाती है, नीचे जाती है. ये जो पैंडेमिक की शुरुआत हुई, विच इज आई थिंक मार्च में तो हम में से किसी को रियलाइज नहीं हुआ, बट अप्रैल, मई एंड जून, व्हाट वी सडनली रियलाइज दैट वी नेवर इमेजिन दैट दी जो हाई सीज पे माल जो आने वाला है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस पीपल रियली वर बैडली स्टक. मतलब हम में से जनरेशन में किसी ने देखा ही नहीं था कि सब, मतलब 2-2 महीने तक कुछ नहीं होगा एंड एवरीथिंग विल बी स्टैंड स्टिल. Now imagine what would have happened to people who actually had booked and the cargoes were on. So the reason I'm telling you is that I saw huge amount of inventories getting delivered into MCX in the April, May, June. मतलब आप समझ लीजिए कि सब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स मिला करके, 5 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिला करके 18 से 19,000 टन तक का माल था हमारे यहाँ, which progressively went out when unlocking started happening, which was last quarter 2020. And if not to that extent, but this April and May, when the second wave came, again same thing happened. Close to about 11,000 tons of metal was lying into MCX warehouse, and which has now gone back to about 2,500. So what I'm trying to say is, Mahendra bhai, that everybody is going through this current phenomena in a unique way. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने भाव की तेजी मंदी पहले नहीं देखी है, पर अभी ये जो जिस कारण से हो रहा है ना, is unique in itself. The supply lines are completely distorted, the shipping lines are distorted. So the conventionally हमें जहाँ से लगता था कि मैं import करता हूँ, ये करता हूँ, I am sure everybody is facing that challenge.
Yes.
And everything is getting rediscovered. So जिसको हमने सोच लिया था कि मुझे कभी नहीं करना पड़ेगा, इस वेंडर से कभी काम नहीं होगा या कभी सप्लायर से जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, it is all coming back and knocking the door, और उसको भी choice नहीं है, because he is not able to probably export, import or whatever. So everything is getting redefined, and my belief is that our prices and our ecosystem has done really well to give a very good leading idea to everybody कि भाई जो चीज आप अभी सोच नहीं पाए हैं, but exchange is giving you an idea, और कि भाई ये प्राइस मूवमेंट क्या हो रहा है, किस दिशा में जा रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है. जैसे currently all the contracts are जो जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि बदला उल्टा है. Now what is happening is that the first month is at the top, second month is cheaper than that, third month is even cheaper than that. So what it says is that right now there is a trouble with the ready metal. Ready availability of metal is a problem, and it is expected to vanish 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, और इसके तरीके से. बट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज कि ये उल्टा बदला जो है ना 2 महीने से चल रहा है, मतलब प्राइसेस भी ऊपर जा रही हैं एंड डिफरेंस इज आल्सो गोइंग अप, बट इट इज होल्डिंग ऑन. These are the symptoms. These are the symptoms for all of us to really appreciate and understand that a system which has got a very democratic way of buying and selling. We have got no restriction. Anybody who want to participate can participate, but it is giving you a clue that the supply constraints are there in the system, and they are probably going to be here for some time till these all this supply chain resumes. And I think that is reflecting. So I would, I have not been tracking prices, but I cannot give you a clue whether it is going up and down. But this is what I learned, that जिनके पास माल था, जिनका बिक नहीं रहा था, they all delivered on MCX, and progressively market took it out, and again the same thing happened this time in April and May, and now we see a huge amount of metal which is simply flowing out, but this time it is less of मतलब डिमांड है, बट आई बिलीव दी कन्वेंशनल जो सोर्सेस थे इंपोर्ट्स के और ये वो फिलहाल वहां पे टाइटनेस है, वहां पे माल मिल नहीं रहा है लोगों.
यस,
एंड दैट
डिसरप्शन है,
इज
ओशियन फ्रेट का है,
यस
डिलीवरी का है, शिपमेंट डेज का है.
यस, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज इन प्ले. So I mean I have faced the era when we were not delivery settled and everything was LME linked. uh, we had a different reason why people were not happy with us, and now that it's a delivery base, it really gives you a clue of what is happening to the prices in India. This thing I'm sure the फिलहाल का सराउंडिंग ऐसा है, the business terms are so difficult that is the reason why people are very worried of what will happen to the prices. But I believe that it is high time adopt change and adjust to a new normal, that you have to hedge yourself. I am very confident that this is no different than forex hedging. फॉरेक्स हेजिंग में इतना ही है कि उसकी हम एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी बना चुके हैं, हम लोग उसको प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, तो हमें दिक्कत नहीं है. दिस इज अ न्यू थिंग. द ओनली गुड, आई मीन द डिफरेंस बिटवीन फॉरेक्स हेजिंग एंड कमोडिटी इज कि वहां पे चाहे मैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट करूं, चाहे कॉपर इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट करूं, चाहे मैं कॉपर का रॉड इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट करूं, एवरीथिंग इज रुपी डॉलर इज सेम. यहाँ पे फर्क सिर्फ इतना है कि मैं कभी कॉपर कैथोड करता हूँ, कभी सीसी रॉड करता हूँ, कभी वैल्यू ऐड करता हूँ, कभी ब्रास करता हूँ. My form changes, but as long as you are able to benchmark this thing to the MCX contract, you have simplified your life. That is the first change. Bring everything to the percentage of metal and link that percentage of metal to the MCX price. Moment you start doing that, you will educate your vendor, you will educate your client. Both everybody in the ecosystem starts talking the same language, and that's how it works.
No, this is
24
a
कैरेट
perfectly a
गोल्ड
good
का भाव.
this
Sorry,
is
so
perfectly a good idea कि एक MCX price को benchmark बना के you can sell your product and you can market your product in the market. So एक
yeah.
मतलब किसी को volatility समझाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है कि MCX का प्राइस देख लो कि कितना बढ़ा है कितना घटा है. It is very easy to make the client understand.
Yes, yes. And it is impartial. किसी इंडिविजुअल इसकी आर्म ट्विस्टिंग का झंझट ही नहीं है भाई. कोई ऐसा थोड़ी है मतलब कि मतलब व्हेन यू गो आउट, आई मीन क्वांटिटी अगर मैं ज्यादा खरीद रहा हूं तो मैं नेगोशिएट कर लूंगा, दैट इज ग्रेट आइडिया, बट यू कांट डू दिस थिंग विद कमोडिटी प्राइस. क्वांटिटी ज्यादा भी ले लिया तो वो प्रीमियम के ऊपर फर्क पड़ता है, बट नाउ एमसीएक्स प्राइस इज इंक्लूडिंग दैट प्रीमियम आल्सो. करेंसी भी आ गया, प्रीमियम भी आ गया, कॉपर का भाव भी आ गया, इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी भी आ गई, सब कुछ आ गया उसमें। तो नेगोशिएट
So,
मतलब मैं तो ये कर रहा हूँ कि उल्टा है एक्चुअली। जो 2.5 टन खरीदता है उसके लिए भी सेम ट्रीटमेंट है, और जो 50 टन खरीदता है उसके लिए भी सेम ट्रीटमेंट है।
तो अच्छा, ये जो फॉर्मूला बना है MCX का प्राइस निकालने का, दैट इज अगेन मतलब ये थ्रू आउट द ईयर सेम होता है कि अगेन दैट इज अगेन डायनामिक?
सर फॉर्मूला एक्चुअली है नहीं। फॉर्मूला तो ये है क्योंकि हमारा पास्ट जो है सर वो दैट वाज LME इन रुपीज, दैट्स हाउ आवर प्राइस यूज्ड टू बी। तो जितने भी हमसे लोग जुड़े हुए थे, दे अंडरस्टूड ऑलवेज द लैंग्वेज ऑफ LME इतना है और रुपी इतना है। नाउ मोमेंट वी मेड आवर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टू बी डिलीवरी सेटल्ड, वी हैड टू एक्सप्लेन कि भाई साहब पहले 2 कंपोनेंट थे, अभी कितने कंपोनेंट हैं। But the price what you see on screen is mix of all that. I cannot tell you with guarantee कि इसमें रुपी का कितना है, या like lot of metal which gets delivered on MCX is also coming from FTA. तो वहां
यस
ड्यूटी
यस।
लगती नहीं है। तो उसमें वो आदमी ये बोलता है कि साहब ड्यूटी का नहीं लगा रहा हूँ, बट मेरा प्रीमियम अलग है। अब हाउ एम आई टू गेस व्हाट इट इज? सो हम सबको ये बता रहे हैं कि भाई साहब ये जो प्राइस है इसमें आपको जो एक्सेल शीट समझ में आती है उसमें ये कंपोनेंट ऑलरेडी जुड़े हुए हैं। द ओनली थिंग वी वांट टू गिव कंफर्ट टू द ऑडियंस इज दैट यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक एनीथिंग एल्स, एवरीथिंग इज इनटू दिस प्राइस। द ओनली थिंग व्हिच यू नीड टू बॉदर, एंड वो भी बॉदर करने की जरूरत नहीं, इज GST व्हिच विल ओनली गिवन और टेकन एट द डिलीवरी। वो भी 18% की एक कॉम है, और हमको डिलीवरी बेस्ड काम करना नहीं, क्योंकि हम कैथोड की डिलीवरी देंगे जो आपको चाहिए नहीं। सो इट इज वेरी सिंपल। सो दैट ब्रेकअप एंड जो फॉर्मूला आपको जो लग रहा है दैट इज फॉर्मूला नहीं, इट इज ओनली टू टेल यू दैट आप जो खरीद फरोख्त करते हैं उसमें जितने भी कंपोनेंट आप जोड़ के चलते हैं वो सब हमने फैक्टर कर लिए, और उसका ब्रेकअप हमने इस तरीके से एस्टिमेट किया हुआ। इट्स एस्टिमेटेड नंबर जस्ट टू ब्रिंग यू कंफर्ट दैट नथिंग इज लेफ्ट आउट, everything what you factor into your calculations is taken care in this price.
ओके
And
सर,
I am
तो
sure that
बहुत
when we share the PPT, it will be a good ready reckoner for everyone of your members.
So I have already mailed the PPT to.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yes.
सर एनी क्वेश्चंस? बकुल भाई कोई चैट में देखिए, मतलब आप
वैसे महेंद्र भाई आपने जो सवाल पूछ लिए उसके बाद में गुंजाइश कमी है।
नहीं, अभी हम भी देख रहे हैं ये वॉलेटिलिटी का जो परसेंटेज, मैंने एक चीज मार्क किया कि जो परसेंटेज भी बढ़ रहा है हर साल, 15% से 20%, 20 से 25, ये हो सकता है कि अगला साल 25 हो, 30 भी हो। तो इट इज नेसेसरी दैट आई गिव द मैसेज टू एवरीवन कि उसको एक फ्लक्चुएशन लॉसेस ऑफ प्रॉफिट की तरह से मत देखे, या तो उसको आपके एक्चुअल फिजिकल बाइंग और सेलिंग के साथ में हेजिंग प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करें।
मैं आपको एक और चीज बताता हूँ महेंद्र भाई, मैथमेटिक्स वाली, ओके, विच इज अ वेरी हार्ड फैक्ट विच आई हैव लर्न रिसेंटली। अगर तो भाव 500 रुपए केजी है और फ्लक्चुएशन 10% का है, देन यू आर मेकिंग अप योर माइंड फॉर 50 रुपीज। अब अगर 750 का भाव है और 10% की वॉलेटिलिटी है, तो वो 50 का 75 तो वैसे ही हो गया, ठीक है। एंड यू सडनली वी फील व्हाई दिस मच इज चेंजिंग, एंड इट्स ट्रू विथ एवरीथिंग। Moment the underlying number itself is changing, or it is increasing, then the percentage, even if the volatility remains the same, but the scope it offers for fluctuation is far 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 bigger.
Perfect. I think it is self-explanatory for everyone. और बकुल भाई अभी आप
No, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, very interesting. This
was
is
a good
something which is.
insight.
This has been always looked at. MCX and all those things are always looked at a game played by the bigger ones. So this opens up our mind and the eyes that this also can be played by the younger ones and the newer ones and the smaller ones, and they can
Then
safeguard
it is
themselves.
time to realize that the game is same for everyone.
Everyone, as you rightly said, for 2.5 metric tons or 200 tons. The game remains same. The value only
Yes.
changes. Wow,
Yes.
wow, very interesting.
आपको
Thank you very
चित्रंजन
much.
जी और एक चीज बताता हूँ कि हमारे बहुत सारे मेंबर्स है, वो इम्पोर्टर्स भी है जो शिपमेंट हो जाती है उस टाइम LME लॉक करते हैं, और कभी 20 दिन में शिपमेंट आ रहा है, और आज का डेट तो ऐसा है कि 3 महीने तक शिपमेंट नहीं आ रहा है। वो 3 महीने का पीरियड एक्सपोज्ड रहते हैं LME के साथ में। एनीवेज दिस इज आल्सो वेरी राइट प्लेटफॉर्म के उसको भी डाइल्यूट कर सकते हैं।
मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ महेंद्र भाई, ये जो 2 स्लाइड्स है ना, बाय फर्स्ट सेल लेटर और सेल फर्स्ट बाय लेटर, ये घूम फिर करके पूरी दुनिया इसमें ही आ जाती। ये है ना, उसका कॉम्प्लिकेशन ढूंढना या कहना कि मेरा धंधा अलग है, दिस इज हाउ यू मेक योरसेल्फ कंफर्टेबल। आई कैन टेल यू गिव मी एनी एग्जांपल, आई कैन टेल यू समरी इनटू दीस टू। ये जो इंपोर्ट करते टाइम व्हाट आई हैव डन इज आई प्राइस फर्स्ट, तो मैंने पहले खरीद लिया है, अब मुझे ये पता नहीं है कि बिकेगा कब। So this is where it is that moment you buy, you should sell MCX, and whenever you are receiving the shipment and then you are selling in the market, then you reverse your position on MCX. This is same, and it is same as कि मैं अगर रॉ मटेरियल ले लेता हूँ, कन्वर्ट करके मैं अपना प्रोडक्ट जो है ऑफ द शेल्फ रखता हूँ, और बाजार में जब कभी बिकेगा जब बिकेगा, सेम ट्रीटमेंट हो गया, क्योंकि अपना तो रॉ मटेरियल का पैसा तो प्राइस लग गया मतलब वो फिक्स हो गया। अब मिलेगा कब उसका रेम्यूनरेशन पता नहीं है। दैट्स हाउ इट इज।
ग्रेट बकुल भाई, अगर ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चंस होते हैं मेंबर्स के तो वी कैन ऑलवेज आपको रिवर्ट बैक कर सकते हैं।
श्योर सर, वी विल मोर देन हैप्पी टू हेल्प।
Very interesting. Yes. Anybody else has any questions? I don't think any questions are there. I'm checking out, but then there's no questions there. I think this was very well explained, and I think Mahendra bhai, आपने सब सवाल पूछ करके you have found out almost all the answers there, and maybe more than what we thought could be asked.
Really happy, very happy to be part of today's session. We'll be more happy. We will provide everything what you need. It is small buyer or a big buyer, we never ask for the identity and this thing. We'll be happy to any query you may have. And as I as you had mentioned, Mahendra bhai, some flow chart and an estimate, this thing as to how to go about it, and connecting you to more market players or brokers who can guide individually various members also, will be happy to provide. I would like to also inform you that we have practically branches in every state. So we got Delhi, we got in Jaipur, we got in Ahmedabad, we got in Chennai, Bangalore, everywhere, Calcutta, everywhere. So my point is, कल अगर उठ के आपको ऐसा लगता है कि at a regional level if somebody needs any guidance in this thing, I am sure we are equipped with manpower who can guide them suitably at grassroots level also. एंड अभी तो ये तो ऑनलाइन सिस्टम में तो आप मतलब एवरीबडी इज गॉट सो यूज्ड टू Zoom एंड गूगल मीट एंड व्हाट नॉट। आई थिंक वी शुड बी टेकन केयर ऑफ। बट डाउन द लाइन अगर आपको लगता है दैट रीजनली आल्सो इफ देयर इज एनी हेल्प नीडेड, विल बी हैप्पी टू हेल्प देयर आल्सो।
Sure. Thanks. We will be obliged with your kind support. Anyways, Bakul bhai will give me the vote of thanks.
Okay. I really have no words to say thank you, but yeah, it was very enlightening, which is very important. For me, it excites me every time I see that my members can benefit so much out of this, and if my members can benefit, the industry in overall will benefit, and it will turn a lot of people's life in a better way. So yeah, first and foremost, Chitranjan ji, for you, Prakash ji, for you explaining it in a very, very common language, and that statement will stay in my mind, that don't play these for profits and loss, play these for safeguarding yourself. Thank you very much from each of us at Rata, to you Chitranjan ji and to Prakash ji, for enlightening us and making it a very worth. The investment of 1.5 hours has been worth, and we believe we'll keep on talking to you and finding out more and more to make our industry more stable and stronger, sir. So thank you very much from all of us. Have a wonderful life from here onwards.
Thank you Chitranjan ji, thank you Prakash ji.
Thank you so much Mahendra ji, thank you so much Bakul ji.
Thank you sir, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.